the Mountain West, where Boise State finds a way on the road. Which, by the way, why is Ashton Genty plus 440 to win the Heisman now? Why did he get demoted for having touched the ball 40 times, having the game-winning touchdown, another touchdown called back earlier in the game, and winning
128 yards. He had a
and
down
being,
game.
yeah, like what? 140 total yards, almost 40 touches. Like what are we doing, man? You played a good UNLV team who is a top 20 team against the run metrically. So these Heisman voters that aren't going to vote for Ashton Genty, that voted for Derrick Henry, all right, was it the 27 carries for 90 yards against Louisiana Monroe, or was it the 52 yards he had against Georgia Southern that really sold you? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I get the Cam Ward, but like to have, I understand Dylan Gabriel, but I just think Ashton Genty is still the best player in the country. That's my opinion. But credit to Mad Max, who played a really outstanding game, who probably needed to play a really good game in order for this football team to win. And you know what? When he plays well, the ceiling of this Boise State team goes way up. It goes way up. And also credit the defense, too, in that second half.
Big time stops there. And UNLV jumped on him early, and it was looking like, uh-oh. And then all of a sudden, I think UNLV missed a field goal, and then Boise State responded and got the field goal of their own. And then all of a sudden, you started getting Genty going a little bit. But Mad Max, like you said, Maddox Madison was the difference maker here. Now, obviously, Genty, like, he's going to get his. And I talked about in the preview, I'm like, do I feel good? I took Boise State. Do I feel good if Boise State can't get Genty going? If he doesn't have 200 yards? If it has to be Mad Max? And I was nervous, but he got it done, man. On the ground, he had that big run. You saw him spread the ball around to a couple different guys. It was very encouraging. Like you said, when Mad Max is playing this well, they are a good football team, and they're going to give a lot of teams in the Mountain West, but also teams in potential playoffs, a lot of fits here. And I know we're talking about conference races of all these other players. Like, I would love to see a rematch, by the way, of these two teams. I know Colorado State's technically undefeated, although they struggled this week. I know San Diego State is technically undefeated, although they're 3-4. But listen, I think Fresno State's super flawed. Like, I think teams ahead of UNLV are going to lose, and they might. And by the way, they play some of those teams too, so they're going to have their own chance to kind of clam up the rankings themselves. I would love to see a rematch here because these two teams, to me, clearly the two best teams in the Mountain West. Heisman Williams has been a difference maker. You saw him make some big-time plays. You saw him have the big run. Ricky White is awesome. Now, he wasn't dominant, but he made some big plays. You just see him kind of popping up all over the field, all phases of the game as well. This was awesome. The atmosphere was good. Like, the Mountain West, like, it was such a good night. Mountain West, kind of standalone game. I know, the World Series had just ended, and it was a crazy game, game one there Friday night. But
yeah,
it felt like everyone kind of turned their attention. Okay, Janty's on. Let's go watch Genty and the Mountain West. And they saw a really good product there, and very excited. These two teams, very good football teams. To me,
yeah.
honestly, like, if you're going to rank Missouri 25th for having, two good losses, whatever, like, to me, UNLV, eye test tells me they're right
A
there,
better
man.
football team.
Yeah.
Better football team. I would take UNLV to beat Missouri.
Especially with Drew Pine, man.
Yeah, with Drew Pine. Yeah, Brady Cook, I think it's definitely a discussion. Missouri's probably power rated, definitely significantly ahead of UNLV. Probably.
I don't know, actually. Missouri's probably in the 40s right now. I think they took a big drop.
Yeah, I mean, definitely 30s. They're not top 25 for sure. But
Which,
yeah,
by the way,
also for Ashton Genty impact, by the way, okay, so Mad Max did it in the first half, okay? In the second half, that 14-play, 8-minute drive, Ashton Genty touched the ball 9 times. Like, that was Ashton Genty. That's his impact in that game. On that last touchdown drive that they had, the 8-play, whatever yard touchdown drive, he touched the ball 5 of those 8 times, including the game-winning touchdown, which was a really good run.
it was a great run. Oh, my gosh.
Not to mention he also had that, touchdown that got called back for a holding penalty. He played phenomenal, guys. The box score snipers that are like, oh, he only had 120 yards against UNLV. Shut up, dude. Shut up. UNLV has been a fantastic run defense. First of all, under Barry Odom. It's never been, even last year, it was never the run defense. It was getting beat explosively through the air. If I'm to look up right now, UNLV, their run defense, they're only letting up 3.6 yards per carry on the season. It was less than that heading into this game. 114 yards on the ground, both top 30 guys. This is a good UNLV team. Shut up. Like, Heisman Trophy voters are going to piss me off if they just continue to let Genty slide after that game because he was. I know you talk about Mad Max being the difference maker. I think he was a definitely difference maker, and he was the X factor because you didn't anticipate the production that you got from
Yes.
him in order to win that game. But Ashton Genty was still, I think, the most impactful player for Boise State in that second half. 14 plays, you wasted 8 minutes off the clock to make sure that UNLV did not touch the ball again.
Championship type drive there.
Championship type drive. I'm trying to see because I think UNLV had one. They had one drive in the fourth quarter, I think, right?
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
had the long drive.
they had
And
one. They touched the ball one time in the fourth quarter because of that drive.
yeah, that's big time there. And yeah, like you said, I'm with you there in terms of Genty. He was the most important player. He was the best player on the field for them offensively. I was just impressed about Mad Max himself.
Absolutely.
But UNLV, like, yeah, they gave up 189 yards rushing, which isn't a ton for especially Boise State standards. But like outside of the long run by Mad Max, like it was it was 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It was 4 yards in a cloud of dust. It was hard work, hard running for Genty. And I give him a ton of credit because he was bouncing off tacklers. He was fighting for extra yards. We saw that touchdown play. That was an incredible run. But also UNLV, the way they gang tackled, the way they flew to the football, it was big time. And they've got legit athletes on that defense. Like we talked about Woodard, we talked about Catalan being two guys that are difference makers there on that second and third level, respectively. And they played like it 14 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 11 tackles, and half a tackle for loss for Catalan there. Yeah, this was awesome. This was an incredible football game. I really liked what I saw from Boise State there as well. The only concerning thing for UNLV was you gave up 6 sacks, right? And I think if you have Heisman Williams, who is a game changer, he's a game wrecker there offensively for you. But in a game with this close of margins, those are tough. Those are tough to come by and overcome. And if you're going to win against a really good football team in Boise State.
One last Ashton Genty point because I have to push this narrative all the time. He averaged 3.9 yards per carry. All right, you're like, okay, that's pretty shit. You're like, for a Heisman Trophy, what are we doing in this biggest game? 3.2 yards on average per play after contact.
Yep.
He was getting banged at the line of scrimmage every single play and generated yards from that. Like
33 times too. And he also got hurt. He got banged up twice. His ankle, his arm.
Hyper extends his elbow. They were going to try to take him to the locker room and says, no, I got to be out here. And guess what? They are not winning that game without him in the second half. Yeah. We're going to put that out there.
Or they're going to have to get a big time stop or like score
in a different way.
Yeah.
He touched the ball 13 times on those last 2 possessions.
Yeah, man. That is Heisman Trophy. That is championship mentality there for Boise State. I'm glad you brought that up. That's pretty nutty. And also, like, it was a long of 16. Like, he has been so good this year because you see him break a couple tackles and he's gone for 60 yards. It was every play getting 3 to 4 yards, getting 4 yards here and there, 3 yards here and there.
106 of his yards came after contact.
Yeah.
Out of his 128. Oh, yeah, he doesn't play good teams. Oh, yeah, whatever. Shut up. He's best player in college football right now.